Today I want to talk about school drop-off. It's a topic that's relevant all year long, but with the new school year starting, I thought it would be a helpful topic to cover. Whether your child is 6 or 16, drop-off can tap into some big nervous system stress, theirs and yours. You know that feeling when you've barely held it together all morning and you're walking toward the school door, walking on eggshells maybe, trying to stay upbeat, and then your child sees the separation coming and just loses it. Maybe they're sobbing, maybe they're clinging to you, or if they're older, it might look like anger, slamming doors, or refusing to get out of the car. Have you ever had your kids snap at you from being too early, too late, too embarrassing, when deep down you know it's just nerves and you remind yourself of that, but it still stings? And in that moment, everything in you just wants to scoop them up and drive away and skip the whole thing. So today I want to talk through how to handle tearful or tense drop-offs, because this isn't just about getting your child in the school door. It's about learning to support both of you, even when your heart is breaking in the parking lot. Before I dive in, can I ask a quick favor? If you know another parent struggling with some of these same issues, can you please share this video with them? It helps me reach more families who could really use this kind of support. Thanks. Before we talk about what to say during a tough drop-off, it helps to start with a different question, and that is, why is this moment so hard for your child? And we're asking not from a place of blame, but from a place of curiosity and insight. It's easy to assume that it's about separation anxiety or school refusal or being too sensitive, but a lot of times the root struggle is something much more specific, which in that case makes it much more solvable. So here are a few things to consider. Really, the causes are probably almost endless. I just want to share a few to give you some ideas of places to look. So one thing to consider is the crowd too big at the entrance. Maybe they're overwhelmed by the noise and chaos. In which case, a solution might be, could they be dropped off a few minutes earlier or a few minutes later when it's calmer? Next, are they anxious about walking in by themselves? Maybe a classmate or a teacher or an aide can meet them at the door. Or could someone walk in with them until they feel more confident? Are they feeling anxious about the unpredictability of the day? In which case, a simple visual schedule or a first-then card in their pocket might help give them some grounding. Is it sensory overload right at that moment of arrival? In which case, the usual solutions could work. Headphones, sunglasses, a baseball cap, something to squeeze. Does the day just feel too long for them to manage? In which case, you could explore with the school. Could they start with a shorter schedule and build up stamina over time? Another question might be, are there social fears? Maybe they're worried about not knowing where to sit or who to talk to or what's going to happen first. Maybe a teacher could provide a plan for them or talk it through with them for the first few minutes or assign a buddy to ease the pressure. Your child might not be able to identify or tell you what's wrong, whether it's that they don't yet have the language to do so or because they don't have the personal insight. It doesn't mean that there isn't something wrong. It just means that the support needs to start with your intuition and maybe a bit of trial and error. You can try small changes based on what you already know about their sensitivities, and you can collaborate with the school as well to troubleshoot together because they want you and your child to be successful as much as you do. And even if you don't solve it perfectly on the first try, they will feel the difference because they'll see that you're trying to help them feel safe. And that builds trust even on hard mornings. I also did another full video on school refusal that goes deeper into this. So if drop-off isn't the only challenge, check the link in the description box for more strategies. When our children are falling apart at drop-off, most of us have tried everything to just get through it. One thing we might do is over-explain. It's fine, you'll feel better when you get there. Another thing we might do is bribe. That's a big one, right? I'll bring Starbucks after school if you go now. Third, we might do something that wants to minimize the experience. You're being dramatic. And if you've done all three of these on the same morning, well, welcome. You have found your people. Even a well-meaning, you've got this, can fall flat when your child really doesn't feel like they do. These kinds of comments come from a place of love and hope and also from being completely tapped out. But they don't usually land because when your child is flooded with anxiety or dread, those words can feel like pressure to snap out of it when they feel like they just can't. So what does actually help in those moments? First thing you want to do is regulate yourself. So start by checking your own state. Whether your child is a teen or a toddler, your energy matters. And even if your teen rolls their eyes, they're still attuned to your nervous system. So take a deep breath, drop your shoulders, say quietly to yourself, this is hard, but I'm going to be a steady presence. Second, you want to validate the emotion, even if it makes you uncomfortable. So no matter what your child's age, you want to skip the quick fix talk. Instead, you might want to say something like, I see this is really hard right now, and I'm going to help you through it. That acknowledges the difficulty without letting it become the endpoint. Another option would be to say, it's okay to feel upset. We're still going to take that next step together. This validates the emotion and reinforces momentum. Or you could say, I know this feels like too much, but we've done hard things before and I am right here with you. That draws on past resilience and models co-regulation. And a common one that you might be using in other arenas would be, you're having really big feelings right now and that's okay. You don't have to do this alone. Now, it's tempting to say you'll be fine, but our children don't believe that when they don't feel fine. So our words are empty in the moment. What really helps instead is to say something like, you might feel anxious and you can still get through it. For teens especially, validation doesn't mean babying. It means respecting their experience without lecturing them. Third, you might want to create a predictable goodbye routine. And even older kids benefit from a ritual. The key is subtlety. So you could try a casual text in the morning. I believe in you, one moment at a time. Okay, that could be hokey, but it can work. Depends on your child. A shared music playlist they can listen to on the way in, or a silent gesture or a fist bump before they go in. Let them participate in designing it so that it feels empowering to them, not imposed. And then fourth, help them reflect on past wins. Especially teen brains often struggle to access the I've done hard things before file when they're anxious. So you might say something like, remember that first week of camp? You didn't want to go in, and then you ended up having your best summer. Maybe this will be like that. You're helping them build trust and confidence in themselves based on their own past experience, not based on empty words that we're saying. You're not trying to talk them out of their fear. You're showing them that they can feel scared and still move forward because they're not alone. And the key isn't making the tears stop. It's creating the conditions where both you and your child can move through them with confidence. So whether your child cries or refuses to speak or stomps out of the car or clings to you, you feel it. Drop-offs can bring up a lot of your stuff, right? Guilt, fear that you're pushing them too hard, fear of judgment from other parents or from the school. That heavy voice inside says, this should not be that hard. But here's what I want you to think about. Hard doesn't mean wrong. Sometimes the right thing is hard. If everything's easy, we're probably not challenging our child enough. We do want to help them try the next hard thing that's just beyond their current ability. And sometimes what looks like resistance is just your child trying to figure out how to trust themselves. So when you cry in the car, it's not because you failed. It's because you're tethered to this little or not so little human and you love them more than life. These transitions won't always feel this sharp. Your child's learning to tolerate hard things and new things, and you're learning how to hold space for both of you at once, which is important because, again, we're not trying to make the tears stop. Well, we kind of are, but the goal is really helping them, creating a condition where both you and your child can get through the situation with more confidence. And when you stay steady through these difficult moments, you're not just getting your child through the school day or through drop-off at least, you're teaching them that big feelings are manageable, that hard things are doable, and that they are never alone in their struggles. That lesson will serve them far beyond any classroom or drop-off. So if today's video helped you, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. And tell me in the comments, what's the hardest part of drop-off for you right now? Or what are you afraid of in starting the new school year? Let's talk about it and we can keep building the tools that actually work. And again, if you know a parent who's struggling with this too, please share the video with them. There's enough pressure out there. Let's make room for support instead. I'll see you in the next one.